Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this, good evening. Anyways, today we shall learn about factorization. And class 7, last year class 7, as far as I remember, factorization garnu bhako cha. And you must be like confused, like what is factorization? Don't worry. Just keep in your head that there are 2 terms factorization, 3 terms, 4 terms, which we will be learning in these classes. Maybe we'll start with 2 terms today. And the thing that you have to keep in your mind, in your head is, for example, a plus b whole square. The factor form of a plus b whole square is a plus b, a plus b. This is the factor form. But you must be like rolling back in your head that a plus b whole square, we've studied a square plus 2ab plus b square. That is the expanded form of a plus b whole square. Okay, not the factor form. Factor form, the answer say it should come in multiplicative form, product form. If you remember, the factor of 10 is 2 times 5 times 1. So factor what we do is, when we find the factor of any number or any expressions, okay, algebraic expressions go factors the answers that we get at the end of the solution is in the multiplicative form, or it's in the bracket. Okay, like here, if you see a plus b, it's inside the bracket, and there is another a plus b that's also inside the bracket, and this bracket is multiplying this bracket. Similarly, the factor form of a minus b whole square is a minus b, a minus b. This is something why I started with this. Kina, shortly, start most of the students, correction students, they know the solution. Why like solve they know how to solve. But the problem they face is here. What they do is, in place of a plus b whole square, they write a square plus 2ab plus b square. That is not wrong. That is the expanded form, not the factorized form. This is the factorized form. And like formulas, if you remember, I've told in your class several times. A plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, a plus b whole cube, a minus b whole cube. It has expanded form and it has factor form. So when do we need factor form? Factor form expanded form. So for now, starting initially, what you do is, factor form we need while finding factorization, while multiplying, and while dividing. And HCF LCM again, HCF LCM also we need factors. If you remember, find the HCF of 10, 20, 30, then we write the factor of 10, and the factor of 10 is 2 times 5 times 1, and the factor of 20 is 2 times 2 times 5. So basically, when we are finding factor, then we put it in this form, and then that helps us to find HCF and LCM. So let me repeat again. Factor form, we need the factor form during multiplication, division, while finding HCF, LCM, while doing simplification as well. Now now you'll be getting several questions, and always remember, these are, now they are going to mix up. LCM, simplification mix huncha. Factor, LCM mix huncha. Factor and HCF, LCM mix huncha. So what we do is, now step by step, what we need to know what we need to do. And once we know what we need to do, we break maths into several pieces. Okay, like here, today let's focus on factorization, and keep in your mind, because these are the places when we correct your papers, our teachers paper correction at that time what they do is, like, they find mistakes, and mistakes is the mistake. Okay, so anyways, let's see some sums, and let's try to solve those sums. And let's start with two-term factorization. Let's say, for example, we have a square plus 2ab. Now, here you see that we have two terms, a square plus 2ab. And two terms, it's there are several questions. Usually in grade 8, BLE ma questions definitely huncha. Most of the time 9 ma pani huncha, 10 ma pani huncha. Okay, so let's see. So what we do is, the process is to find common, like this is first term and this is second term. So we have two terms, and for your kind information, terms are separated only by plus and minus sign. So I'm pretty sure you remember these things. Okay. Now what you can do is, if you like you have right key, or if you double tap in your cell phone, then 10 second forward huncha. Like if you think, oh, you कुरा मलाई आउँछ, forward गर्दै हेरे पनि हुन्छ, तर my request is once एकचोटी चाहिँ सरर हेर्नुस्. Okay, that will help you. And again, rest choice is yours. Now we have two terms. In this term we have a square, that means a times a, and in this term we have 2ab, and this means 2 times a times b. Now when we expand this, we get a times a, and here there is plus sign, and then this is 2 times a times b. So this is first term, or this is first expression, and this is second expression. So two terms we expanded. Now we see common. What is common in both the terms? So if you see here, a and a are common. So we take this a out. Now nothing else. So we took out the common thing. That means we took this out. It's here outside the bracket. Okay, this is just to make you understand. Okay, and this is the correct process. Okay, so this was common, so we took this out. Assume this is it's easier. Okay, and for some students they don't need to do this. I'll tell you about that as well. So a is common, and then we removed a. Now for the solution, what is left in your first expression? A, that's correct. And the sign, do not forget the sign. What is left in your second expression? 2 times b, that is 2b. And this is our solution. This is factorized. Okay, so this is two-term factorization, just starting. Now we will go with two terms factorization with minus sign. A square minus 2ab. So again, same thing. What is common here? The process is same. Only the difference between the previous question and this question is we have minus sign instead of plus sign. So the solution is same. But the stepwise, first step was to find common between these two terms, and the common here and here is a. So we removed a. Now what is left here? There was a times a, and a times a bata euta a tapaile nikalnu bhayo. Euta a nikaleपछि चाहिँ what is left? 1a is left. Minus, so you removed a, so 2b is left. So this is our solution for another question with minus sign. Now let's work with some numbers. For example, you have 25a square minus 15b square. Okay, so again, what we do is, what is common between these two? Okay, for some time, initially, there is nothing common. We work with common, we work to find common in these two terms. So the alphabets are not common. What about the numbers? Are they common? Is there anything common in them? The factor of 25 is 5 times 5. And the factor of 15 is 3 times 5. Okay, let's expand the entire thing. A times A, and then B times B, and the sign we have is minus. Now, what is common in this term and this term? 5. Okay, so we take out 5, open the bracket. What is left? 5a square minus 3b square. So this is the factorized form. Now the advanced form, which we go more advanced, or like one step ahead rather than saying advanced. Like say for example you have 3a square minus 2b square. Let's say you have 3a square minus 3b square. Now when you have this, so yes, you know that 3 is common. And then what is left here? A square minus b square. Yes, for some students they have guessed. Okay. Now if you remember, we started with a plus b whole square, and that was a plus b times a plus b. Now the factor form of a square minus b square is a plus b, a minus b. So we did the first step. We found the common. Now when we are here, this is our answer. Think, before you say that it is your answer, actually we'll think about it. Now is this in formula? Yes, this is in formula. So we break this, we write the factor form of this as well. So 3 is going to be as it is, and then a plus b, then a minus b. Okay, so this is the complete solution for this question, two-term factorization. Previously, yo bhanda agadiko question ma hamile we used to get our answer here, but why this step? Okay, this step is because this can still be factorized. For example, the factor of let's say 20, we can write 2 times 10, but this is not the complete solution because 10 can further be factorized, and that will give us 2 times 5. Okay, so similarly here also this step is absolutely correct. Okay, your step say wrong, nothing as such. The only thing is, like here, it can further be factorized, and same thing with this can further be factorized, and the factor form of a square minus b square is a plus b, a bracket a minus b. So this is our complete solution. Now, there are certain things. What we can do is, if you can remember, whenever you get two-term factorization, now the questions that are likely to come, I'll tell you about that also. But when we are learning something, we don't learn only the things that are likely to come in the exam. Okay, we also learn the complete thing. Your topic ko complete kura padnu parcha हामीले, complete kura bujhnu parcha. And regarding questions in the examination, I have already told you, like it depends. Not the questions that are likely to come, त्यस्तै question आउँछ भन्ने छैन. So what we do is, now when you get questions with two terms, first step is common. In between two terms, is there anything common? Then we take that out. Yes, 3 is common. So we took that out. And then, after that, supposing nothing is common, like say, for example, you have another question. Okay, now there's nothing common. So here, 3 was common, we took out 3. In this question, nothing is common. So what is the second step? The second step is, or the second rule, and rule, हाम्रो आफ्नो लागि है, यो स्कुलको बुकको रुल्सहरु केही पनि हैन, फ्याक्टराइजेसनको रुल्सहरु के हैन, just to make our solution easy. Second process or second rule is, the first one is there anything common? If there is anything common, we take that common thing out and we write as it, and we write the rest of the things, like we factorize it. त्यसपछि, is this in formula? Like here, is this in formula? Here, is this in formula? Yes, it is in formula. Then, if it is in formula, then we break it. We factorize. I'm sorry, it should be p plus q, p minus q. So formula ma cha bhane, formula ma हामीले factor form, formula lai factor form ma change गर्ने. And then here, is it in formula? Yes, it is in formula. So what we did was we used the formula to put it in factor form. And then in case like it is not in formula, there is nothing common. So what do we do? For example, p to the power of 4 minus q to the power of 4. Now there is nothing common. It is not in formula. Okay, there is nothing common and common pani chaina and formula ma pani chaina. Then what do we do? Can we change it into formula? And the formula that we have learned is a square minus b square. So can we change this in the form of square? Let's try. P square whole square minus q square whole square. So the value does not change. Maths is the most important rule. Second step is always equal to our previous step. And we can change the numbers, but we cannot change the value. And the numbers change गर्ने कसरी भने as per our need. हामीलाई चाहिएको अनुसार. Here the need is square form. So we change it into square form. Now this A को ठाउँमा this we have this. B in place of B we have this. Okay, the formula was a square minus b square. So in place of square, so when we put it in factor form, there is no square sign. What we have is a. So whatever is here, it came here, and whatever was here, it came here. Similarly, this thing came here and this thing came here. So what I'm trying to tell you is, so this becomes our a, the whole thing. So a, that means this is our a. Another mistake we make is we leave this. So our a is not p, dear students. Our a is p square. Okay? So a plus b, and then we have a minus b. So this is our second step. Now, is it our solution? Are we done? This does not have factor form. Okay, or we leave this as it is, but again, if you look at this, this is in formula. So we break this into formula and we get this as it is, p squared plus q squared, and then p plus q, p minus q. Now, these are different types. Now one more, we have one more type, that is, what if we get a question 3 minus p? Back to the same rules. Is there anything common? Is it in formula? Can we change it into formula? It's not in formula. We cannot change it into formula. But, so that does not mean, sir, this question is wrong. Usually, maths ma question wrong. Okay? Sometimes mistakenly teacher they give you this question. Then you cannot, it's rather than saying, sir, this question is wrong, you stick to your rules. So, 1 is common, 3 minus p. This is your solution. Bracket form ma pani aayo, multiplicative form ma pani aayo, factor pani bhayo. What is the factor of 5? Sir, there is no factor. The factor of 5 is 5 times 1. Okay? So anyways, I hope this is going to help you, and I'll set some questions. Now I'll need some time to erase this and set some questions, so it will take maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds. So what you can do is you can skip or you can forward the video. Okay, so what you got to do is factorize the following questions. Two ab minus 2a 3x squared minus 6x squared minus 4y squared, and then 18x cubed minus 2xy squared. And then the last one, x to the power of 8 minus y to the power of 8. Give you a hint. Anything common? No, sir. Is it in formula? No, sir. Can we change it into formula? I'll just do one step for this. Yes, we can change this into formula. X to the power of 4 whole square minus y to the power of 4 whole square. So a square minus b square form I. And a plus b, a minus b. Again, is it in formula? Can we change it into formula? So what you do is, do these things, and in our next class, I'll solve these questions. I have to take the picture because I need to know, okay, these are the questions that I had given homework. And in our next class, I'll solve these questions. And then you can check whether you did it correct or not. Anyways, thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.